Hello, I'm Debbie DeLue, and I'm one of the co-founders of Applied Visual Thinking, and we create tools to help close gaps, avoid obstacles, build bridges, and create change. Today we're going to introduce you to project management, where you'll learn to visualize and plan a project from end to end. We'll get to that shortly, but first let me introduce you to my partner, Sherry Kennedy.
I am Sherry Kennedy. I'm the other co-founder of Applied Visual Thinking. I'm really glad you decided to join us today for this course. Whether you're thinking about a one-day project that you can do at home or maybe a multifaceted project you do with a group of others, this course will help you use your visual thinking skills to break down that project into bite-sized chunks that are easy to communicate. At Applied Visual Thinking, we believe that learning to work visually is within everyone's reach. Learning these skills can and should be fast, easy, and fun, and that's why we're here. Learning to work visually is a vital 21st century skill, and we know that everyone at all levels must be ready, willing, and able to contribute to the conversation. At Applied Visual Thinking, we envision a world where visual thinking becomes first nature to everyone. In this course, you'll learn how to apply 8 common project management tools quickly, clearly, and confidently, and to capture vital project information visually using simple charts, icons, and color to add clarity and create meaning. You'll arm yourself and your team with the tools and information you need to complete your projects on time and on budget, speeding yourself and your organization toward excellent project management. During the course, you're going to learn to apply a number of common project management tools, discover how to select the most appropriate tools for your project, and visualize the major aspects of a project. Those include project scope, tasks, timeline, stakeholder statements, risk management, and roles and responsibilities. Before we begin, let's briefly recap what you learned in Foundations. You learned about the visual thinking landscape and the basic tools you can use when you're thinking visually. The visual alphabet, basic visual vocabulary, icon mashups, how to use hierarchy and color to add meaning and pizzazz to your work, and a few simple diagram types. As you move through this course, we'll be using this model. First, you'll be introduced to a skill or concept, and then you'll see an example of that skill or concept in use. You'll apply it to an activity, and then you'll reflect on what you learned, what you appreciated, one thing you might change, and a question you might still have. As we go along, you'll see these icons in the right-hand corner. When you see the pen, grab a pen and some paper or your tablet because we'll be drawing together. Or we'll ask you to pause the video and draw something before continuing on. The paper icon means to take pictures of your work and share them with us. And the pen and paper icon means you'll be completing your drawings offline, then taking pictures to share with us when you've completed the activity. So let's review a few concepts before we dive in and start drawing. First, the material you choose will in part inform how you can use your visual thinking. So you'll need something to draw on and something to draw with. If you're just going to be working with a single person or a really small group, you might just need basic materials. So copy paper and sketchbook are fine, and some pens and Sharpies with maybe some highlighters for color. If you're going to be working with a small group, you might want a flip chart or roll paper and some chisel markers or brush markers so that you can see from a distance. If you're working with a larger group or remotely, perhaps you'll want to change your options and draw on a tablet or whiteboard, and then you'll need a stylus or your finger to draw with or whiteboard markers. The material will also influence your design, but don't let simple tools hamper your visual thinking. So all of these examples of a person will do the job. Using simple tools does not impact the usefulness of the experience or the final product. If all you have, for example, is a little bit of time and some basic materials, a simple smiley face is fine to indicate a happy person. If you have a little bit more time and a little bit more variety of materials, you can draw a simple person like the one in the center. If you're going to be working on a tablet, maybe you have a little bit more time. Perhaps you can do something a little bit more advanced.
In this course, you're going to be taking everything you've learned from your other AVT courses and begin to apply them to project management. This course is designed with 4 rounds of fun, hands-on activities. Each round builds on the last to help you build your visual thinking superpowers. In round 1, we'll introduce you to 3 core tools that are useful in managing any size project and apply them to visualize a small project of your choosing. In round 2, we'll add a couple of more tools to your project management toolkit and use them along with the core tools to visualize a dream space project. And in round 3, we'll round out your visual thinking project management toolkit to gain more insight into your dream space project. And in the last round, we'll help you choose your project management tools, prep your templates, and prepare to visualize a real-world business project. Let's talk for a moment about what project management is as a discipline. According to the AMP Body of Knowledge 7th edition, project management is an application of processes, methods, skills, knowledge, and experience to achieve specific project objectives according to the project acceptance criteria within agreed parameters. That's a lot of big words. That means that you're going to do the task to accomplish a specific goal. Project management is a balancing act. When you manage a project, no matter what size, you must manage a number of constraints, including time, cost, and quality, just to name a few. When you change one of these factors, the others will likely be impacted as well. For example, if you have a long time to complete your project, you may be able to lower the cost and increase the quality. While if your quality must be at the very highest level, the cost of your project and the amount of time you need to complete it will likely increase. When you change one of these factors, the others will be impacted as well. So why project management? According to the great statesman Winston Churchill, those who plan do better than those who do not plan, even though they rarely stick to their plan. Project planning is a moving target. Visualizing your project up front will help you and your organization in the long run. As your project moves along, things will change, and you will need to adapt. Visualizing your project will help you be nimble and iterate quickly, and help get everyone on the same page as things change. There are many different ways to visually manage projects, from the very simple to the very sophisticated. Here are just a few examples. First, we have a very simple diagram of a shed construction project with a few simple steps to be completed. And next, we have a great example of visualizing a project using a timeline with a sticky note on a whiteboard. And we got this from xqu.com. And lastly, there are many sophisticated project management apps that will help you visualize your projects. Depending on your needs, all of these can be used with great success. Let's talk for a moment about what is at the core of project management. So some things that are in all project management that need to be considered no matter the size of the project includes the budget to complete the project, the people involved or impacted by the project, the task to be completed, the order of the task, and a timeline for completing the project. The larger and more complex projects are, the more factors that you may need to consider. Things like risk management, clarifying roles and responsibility, and managing communication, to name just a few. There's no one-size-fits-all project management. You should use the tools that best fit the needs of the project and the organization. So all of these project management tools have their uses depending on the needs of you and your team. Simple hand-drawn project diagrams can be easily produced very quickly and may be all you need for a very simple, short project. While more complex projects with many people involved can benefit from using more sophisticated tools. During this course, we'll be aiming to produce project management diagrams in the sweet spot that falls somewhere in the middle. Hand-drawn diagrams can be produced very quickly and show a wide variety of meta information by the use of icons, hierarchy, and color, and include the common ground elements of the people involved, the task to be completed, the order of the task, the project budget, and the project timeline. The good news is, no matter what size or complexity of the project you're undertaking, you can use hand-drawn diagrams as a starting point to quickly collect, validate, and share initial project information, and use that data to move up to more sophisticated tools if your project requires it. That's enough theory. In the next video, we'll dive in and start drawing. We look forward to seeing you in the next video, coming up in just a moment.